Hi guys, Terry here. I'm going to be going through the solutions to the June 2023 CSEC AdMaths exam, right? Before you look at the video guys, please remember to hit like and subscribe, right? My new Form 4 CSEC AdMaths class will be starting in August 2023. So if you are interested, you can always send me a WhatsApp on this number here, right? Classes are completely online, right? Right, so let's look at this first question here that they gave us, right? So they gave us this equation here, which is 3 to the power 2x plus 1, right? Minus 5 multiplied by 3 to the power x minus 2 is equal to 0, right? Now, if you look at the equation, you're going to realize you have 3 to the power something, right? Like 3 to the power x. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break up. I need to break this up, right? And well, this is already in the form 3 to the power x. But this first term here, right? You can write that as 3 to the power 2x, right? Multiplied by 3 to the power 1, right? That's what you can do here. Minus 5 by 3 to the power x, right? Minus 2 is equal to 0. All right, so far so good. What we're going to do, this particular term, instead of writing it as 3 to the power 2x, I can write that as 3 to the power x squared multiplied by 3 to the power 1 minus 5 by 3 to the power x minus 2 is equal to 0, right? Now, if you look carefully now, we can make a substitution. We can say that let's call it, you can call it y, you can call it u, it doesn't really matter. So let y equal to 3 to the power x, right? So therefore, you're going to end up with a quadratic. So this here is going to be 3y squared minus 5y minus 2 is equal to 0. So we have a quadratic now, and then you're going to have to factorize this quadratic. So this is going to be 3y here, right? This is AdMath, so you have to be able to factorize this by simple inspection. So this is going to be 1 here, this is going to be 2 here. Now, make sure it's correct. 3 2s are 6. So let's say plus 1 minus, will that work? 3y by y is y squared, 1 by minus 2 is minus 2, minus 6 plus 1. Yeah, that's going to work, right? So we can either say, right, 3y plus 1 is equal to 0, 3y is equal to minus 1, y is equal to minus 1/2, right? Now remember, we made a substitution, so this is really 3 to the power x is equal to minus 1/2, right? The alternative is this, or we can say y minus 2 is equal to 0, y is equal to 2, so therefore 3 to the power x is equal to 2. Now, if you attempt to work the first one, right, where 3 to the power x is equal to negative 1/3, right? Now, if you use a calculator and you try to work out log of negative 1/3, you're going to get an error. So this here is not going to give me any solution, right? So this here is no solution for this one here, right? And the main reason for that is that you can't find the log of a negative number, right? So to solve this next one here, and I'll do it on the side here because I need a little space. 3 to the power x is equal to 2. You're going to take logs on both sides. So log 3 to the x is equal to log 2. So we can say x log 3 is equal to log 2. And therefore x is simply going to be log 2 over log 3. So therefore x is equal to, they want the answer to 3 decimal places, so log 2 divided by log 3, and you're going to get 0.631. 0.631. So there's only one solution here for part A. What do they want in part B now? So part B now is remainder theorem, right? So they gave us, they said 3x plus 2 is a factor of this expression here. Find the value of b. So what we're going to do, we're going to let f of x equal to 3x cube plus bx squared minus 3x minus 2. Right? Now, if this is a factor here, right, all we need to do, we need to put 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So 3x is equal to minus 2. Therefore, x is equal to minus 2/3. Now, if that is a factor, it means that f of minus 2/3 has to be equal to 0. That's what it means, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to find f of minus 2/3. Right? And so this is going to be 3 multiplied by minus 2/3 cube plus b multiplied by minus 2/3 squared minus 3 multiplied by minus 2/3 minus 2, and that has to be equal to 0, right? So what we have here is an equation, right? And we're going to use that equation now to solve for b. So minus 2/3 cube, right, is going to give you minus 8 over 27, multiply that by 3. So this will work out to minus 8 over 9. This here, minus 2/3 squared, is going to be 4 over 9. So this is plus 4 over 9b, right? And you have minus 3 multiplied by minus 2/3. So this is going to give you plus 2 here. And then we have minus 2 is equal to 0, right? The 2 minus 2 is going to give me 0, right? So I'm going to get 4 over 9b is equal to 8 over 9, right? So therefore, b is simply going to be 8 over 9 multiplied by 9 over 4. So therefore, b has to be equal to 2. So that's our answer here for this one, right? B is equal to 2 in this case here. What else do you want? Hence, factorize this thing completely, right? So we write down the expression here. So f of x is equal to 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Now they gave us one of the factors already, right? They said that what it was, 3x plus 2 is a factor, right? 3x plus 2 is a factor. So if 3x plus 2 is a factor, right? Now all we need to do a long division here, right? So I'm going to put 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. And you're going to divide that by 3x plus 2. Right, so when we divide this here, we have to put x squared. Yeah, x squared by 3x will give me 3x cubed. Then x squared by 2 will give me 2x squared. Right? So when we subtract this here, we'll get 0. When we subtract this, we'll get 0 here. Right? So we have no x squared term here. Right? So the next thing we're going to bring down here, we're going to bring down the minus 3x. Right? So this here is going to be, yeah, so in this case here we have no x2, right? You have no x2, right? So this is going to be 0 here, and you're going to bring down this minus 3, right? So make sure I'm doing this properly here. You have, it should have been 0 here. So this one is a little trickier in terms of what's happening here, right? So 3x cubed minus, remember you have to subtract this, you're going to get 0. 2x squared minus 2x squared, you're going to get 0x squared, right? And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to bring down this minus 3 here. So this is going to be minus 3x, right? Now you have 0x squared here, so therefore you have 0x is going to be here, right? So 0x by 3x is going to give me 0, right? Then we have, so this is going to be 0x squared here. Then 0x by 2, right? You're going to have plus 0x here, right? When I subtract this, I'm going to get minus 3x, right? You're going to bring down this minus 2 here. And therefore, what's coming next here is going to be minus 1. Because minus 1 by 3x plus 2 will give me this, right? And then you must get a remainder of 0 because this here was a factor. So therefore, that function f of x, right, which is 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x minus 2, right? Because of what we just worked out there, we can see that it can be written as a product of 3x plus 2 multiplied by this quotient on top here, right? Now we're going to exclude the 0x. So this is going to be x squared minus 1, right? And x squared minus 1 is the difference of two squares. So therefore, these are all the factors here. This will be x plus 1, and this will be x minus 1, right? So when it said fully factorize or factorize this thing completely, there's the answer here, right? And the last part of this particular question here is this. Determine the values of p for which the function has two real distinct roots. So we have p x squared. Now that looks like a plus 3x to me. Can't tell. All right, let's assume it's a plus 3x. I can't really see it properly. Plus 2p, right? Now, when you have an expression like this here, we can identify our coefficients. A is equal to p, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to 2p. Now, if this thing has two real distinct roots, it means that your discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, has to be less than 0, right? So two real distinct, yeah, it has to be less than 0, right? So all we're going to do, we're going to substitute. So this is going to be 3 squared minus 4 by a, which is p, multiplied by c, which is 2p, right, is less than 0. So this is 3 3s are 9 minus 4 2s are 8, p squared is less than 0. So minus 8p squared is less than minus 9. So therefore, p squared, now because I'm going to divide by minus 8, I need to change the sign here. So this is going to be greater than minus 9 over minus 8. So therefore, p squared is greater than 9 over 8. So therefore, p is greater than the square root of 9 over 8, right? Now they said given your answer in its simplest form. So it's possible that they want us to write this in a surd form, right? So in this case here, what I will do, I will write this as root 9 over root 8. So this root 9 can be written as 3. All over root 8 could be written as 4 by 2. So therefore, p is greater than 3 over 2 root 2. Right? So this is what I'll probably say as my answer here in order for us to have two real and distinct roots, right? That's assuming this is a plus here. I can't tell if it's a plus, but it looks like a plus to me, right? Yeah, so that takes care of question 1 in the June 2023 paper, right? Let's have a look at question 2. So question 2 here, this is question 2. They gave us a quadratic expression here and you want to complete the square, right? So this is relatively straightforward. We have 3x squared minus 9x plus 1, right? And we're trying to complete the square. So what we normally do, we pull out this here, pull out this 3. So this is going to be 3 open brackets x squared minus 3x plus 1/3. Right, next thing we're going to do, you're going to write this as x minus, you have to find half of this number, so that's x minus 3 over 2 squared. You write back the 1/3, and then you minus, but you're minusing this number squared here. So that's going to be 3 3s are 9 over 4. So this is going to be 3 open brackets x minus 3 over 2 squared. So this is 1/3 minus 9 over 4. So that's minus 23 over 11. Sorry, minus 23 over 12. Right? And the final thing we do here is multiply by 3. So this is going to be 3 open brackets x minus 3 over 2 squared minus 23 over 4. Right? So that's the answer for part 1, right? So in part 1 here, we can say that A is equal to 3, B is equal to minus 3 over 2, and C is equal to minus 23 over 4, right? All right, so part 2 now, they said state the coordinates of the minimum point of f of x. So once you complete the square, guys, right, this is pretty straightforward here. The minimum point is simply going to be, you have to put this bracket equal to 0 here, and you're going to get x is equal to 3 over 2. So therefore, this is going to be 3 over 2, and the minimum value, or the minimum y value, is minus 23 over 4. There's no calculation involved for this part. That's why they said state, right? So that's a normal maths question. This whole question here is just a simple maths question, right? All right, now this next one here, we have 3x squared minus 6x minus 2 is equal to 0. So that's a quadratic equation. What we can identify from this here is that A is equal to 3, right? B is equal to minus 6, and C is equal to minus 2, right? So they are telling us that the roots are alpha and beta, right? Roots are alpha and beta. So the sum of the roots, alpha plus beta, right, is going to be equal to minus b over a. So this is sum of the roots, right? So all you're going to do, you're going to substitute what is b and what is a. So this is going to be minus 6 over 3. So that's positive 6 divided by 3. So this is 2. So the sum of the roots is going to be 2. And the product of the roots, so that's alpha beta, is going to be c over a. C in this case is minus 2 over a, which is 3. So it's minus 2/3, right? So this is what is important to us here. We know what the sum of the roots are, or the sum of the roots is, right? So the sum is 2 and the product is this. Now, they want me to find the value of 1 plus alpha plus 1 over beta, right? So what you have to do in this particular case here, you need to add those two. So we're going to say 1 plus alpha plus 1 plus beta, right? So you find your LCM. Your LCM is going to be alpha beta. So this here is going to be beta here plus alpha. So this one is pretty straightforward actually. So now you know what the sum is. Alpha plus beta is 2. That's what we got here. So you're going to put 2 divided by the product, right? The product is going to be minus 2/3. Right? So when you divide this here, so this is going to be 2 divided by minus 2/3, right? And you're going to get minus 3. Right? So the value of 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta is going